In this video, we are going to be showing how to use the CLI Droid client with the Soti Management Console and enrolling it into the console. In the first part of the video, you double click on the Soti Mobi Control stage icon and start clicking the apply buttons on all the permissions icons that come up. You then enter your enrollment key for your instance or your cloud instance or your on-premise instance of the Soti management software. Once you have keyed it in here completely, the Droid client will connect to the server and it will download the agent that's appropriate for the hardware that you're using. In this case, it's a JC8600. And it will automatically install the agent. Now, we don't have the management console set to auto configure the device. We're today going to show you how to manually create the profile and apply changes to it. So just complete through the wizard, the staging agent wizard here, and it's almost finished. And again, just answering all of the questions with apply, and accept all of the entries that pop up on the screen for the user, the initial config. Once it's enrolled, you don't have to do this again. And now the administrator is activated, so we can close that out. And in the next part of this video, we're going to show how we can take an existing profile and drop it to the client. That's the standard way to handle these devices. This is showing the Soti version 14 management console, the new version 14. And you can see the CLI device is showing up as online. We're going to refresh the screens to make sure that the new one that we just added shows up, and there it is. So it's showing up, and we're going to go ahead and open up an existing profile that we had done previously on our network for our devices. So we have a lockdown profile that we like to use, a demonstration profile, and in this case we're going to be dropping this profile on just one device, but we could drop it on multiple devices. So we are going to have a browser go to the computerlab.com website for the user when the device starts up. The user won't have access to anything else except this browser with this profile. So they cannot get to settings or anything in Android. It's completely locked down kiosk. And just by putting in the address and URL for this website, clicking OK, and then disabling the status bars and choosing the lockdown template, which there are various ones there, or you can create your own. And then we're going to go ahead and assign that to the device that we have on the network. So now we've seen all the devices there, and some of them are checked on, some of them are online, some are offline. You can see the default desktop that is shown here. Basically, we're going to be changing this and locking it down. So when we click the assign button, it's going to happen very quickly that this profile will be sent down to the desktop, and there it was. So within 5 seconds, the profile lockdown's in place, and now it's just a browser. You know, the browser is the only thing the user can get to. There's no start button, there's no desktop. The hotkey here is escape. If they press the escape key, then they can get back to the main lockdown screen, which only shows the apps or the other websites that you have listed there. So for this screen, only thing listed there is the one app, the one website. No start button. Everything is completely locked down, no right click. None of that works. So in the next part of the video, we're going to be changing this profile to a different website. So maybe today we wanted it to go to computerlab.com, but tomorrow we wanted to go to a different website. How would we deploy that across one or hundreds or thousands of devices? We can edit the profile that we, again, already exists out there. And we're just going to edit that profile, and then we're just going to change the URL that it's pointing to and the label for the icon that shows up for the user. So for in this case, it's EHI, and just changing the website address. We could have multiple websites here. And again, this is a demonstration video, so this part of it, you can have multiple icons show up. I just chose text to show up on the screen for the user. There could be graphics there. It doesn't have to be the Soti lockdown screen logo. There's a lot of different logos that you can use there for that lockdown kiosk. And then basically give the user no place to go except where you want them to go, which is, in this case, it's just a website. So in this particular profile, super locked down, and the user can only get to a website. And we click OK. And then again, we're just going to make sure that we have all of the legacy checkboxes on, as well as the Samsung checkbox for our device. It seems to work best for the lockdown. And we're going to go ahead and assign that profile to the device on our network. Then we're going to flip over real quickly to the device, and this is real time, so this happened that fast, where it changed and now it's coming up to a different website. Rather than the computerlab.com, it's coming up to the enterprise website here. So in this example, it could be anybody's website, but in this case we chose that one. And it's a fully functioning browser. The user can go anywhere they want within that website. And in the next segment, we're just going to be changing this profile down, varying the levels of lockdown, and creating, showing different ways to that it might be used as a lockdown thin client or Droid client on the network. And flipping back over to the management console, and again editing the exact same profile that we've been working with, and we're going to go ahead and push packages down to the device. This is a list of 5 or 6 different Android apps that were packaged up for deployment for this demonstration. And using the management console, we can push these packages out to be automatically installed and overlaid onto the device so that the user can get them. And even though the device is still in lockdown mode, which will remove that lockdown that's in place, so the user can press escape here and get to the apps temporarily. And we're going to go ahead and remove this on the next segment. So here you can see the apps are installed on the device, and in this particular example, they're just test apps that look at different aspects of the hardware and graph and give different benchmarks and performance related issues. And they're kind of cool to play with. There's just for demonstration purposes. Could be any Android app could be pushed out to the device using the Soti package deployment software. We're just going to run through a couple more of these apps real quick, just make sure all the apps are working and the various parts of the apps before we remove the browser lockdown that's in place on the device. All right, in this next segment, we're going to go ahead and do just that. we're going to go ahead and remove that lockdown that's in place, and it will be returned back to the main Android desktop. So you can see the difference in what it looks like with and without the lockdown in place, the lockdown desktop. And flip over. Okay. So again, it happens really fast on some of these updates. Some of them take a little bit longer, and some of them are automated. And then you're returned. So there it is. Back to the original desktop showing the new icons with the new apps that have been installed out to the client. Now what we're going to do is do another further lockdown on it by getting rid of the settings and the Play Store and some of the other apps icons that are on the desktop. So again, we're going to go ahead and edit the profile. And this time we're going to go to something on here called the application run control, where we're going to add and disallow some apps icons from the user desktop. And there's a list there that's populated. You can add any app that you want, and it will actually search for it while you're typing it in. So if you don't know what it is, it will do its best when you're adding these items. It will do its best to find the one that's most appropriate to your app that's on the device. So again, we're just going to apply it, assign it to the device, roll over to the device, and in a few seconds here, the change that we made to this desktop will take place. So although I'm clicking around on different things on the screen here, there is still a configuration in process. So it has not yet completed. Oh, there it goes. So now the desktop has the new set of icons that are available for the user. You can see the Play Store and the settings is removed, and now the user cannot get to anything on the settings at all. So this is very locked down and very useful.